I want to talk to you about something that is not being talked about nearly enough. This might be a little bit of a story time, but I hope you stick with me. And after watching it, I really hope that you will share this video because I hope that I will be able to convey the importance that this situation has and the immediacy that we need to be talking about this on a national level. Some of you may or may not know about fire lookouts in national parks specifically. There's a creator on here by the name of T-Bones45. This is his page. You should go follow him. He is a fire lookout, specifically in the Umpqua National Forest, which is in Oregon. Now, he has a great video about everything that fire lookouts do. Go watch that video of his. It's like the 4th or 5th video on his page. It's great. He can explain it much better than I can. But to summarize, first and foremost, they look for fires, right? They're at a high vantage point, oftentimes in a tower, oftentimes by themselves, spending weeks, months at a time, scanning the horizon for fires, for smoke, right? If they see something, they call it in, they use radios, they coordinate with ground crews to fight the fire effectively. But that's not all they do. They track weather patterns, they track weather conditions, they track everything that may lead to a higher fire risk or a lower fire risk on any given day. They also compile that daily data and log it so that the National Forest Service can use that for long-term weather and fire projections. Now, how T-Bones plays into this, someone tagged me this morning in a video of his where he's explaining that he got to his fire lookout tower and was told, sorry, the contract's not going to be renewed due to budget cuts. What budget cuts specifically? Budget cuts implemented by DOGE. Needless to say, what T-Bones and every other fire lookout does is critical work. Not only for the preservation and conservation of these national forests that are a huge, wonderful identity of this country, but also for the safety of people and structures in and around these national forests. So I reached out to T-Bones and I was just curious what his situation was, and I asked him if I could make a video and talk about him. He said yes, obviously, but he also said something that particularly struck me. He said that this is a minimum wage job, that nobody's getting rich off of being a fire lookout. I also asked if he knew how many fire lookouts there were employed by the National Forest System, and he didn't know, but he knew for sure that as far as Umpqua National Forest was concerned, there are 0 fire lookouts currently working right now in that forest. And that's really bad news because he mentioned that the last 2 fire seasons that he worked there, right around now, is when fires started popping up pretty regularly. So these are minimum wage jobs, but seemingly very critical jobs. So what's driving the decision to cut this funding? It must be that attendance at national parks must be way down. Nothing could be further from the truth. The number of visitors to public lands has continued to rise over the past 20 years. Total number of visitors to land management agencies 2004 to 2024. Look at that. 700 million almost. Like, people are showing up, people are going. Not only are the number of visitors going up, but the number of visitors has increased while staff sizes have decreased, straining public land agencies. These are the total number of visitors per staff member at land management agencies, 2011-2026. Look, started way down here and went all the way up, which means, if you look down here, about just over 16,000 visitors per staff member. Now let's get into some nitty-gritty numbers. Bear with me, this will go quick. This study was published July 1st, just a week ago. A new CAP analysis finds that the Trump administration's 2026 budget would decrease funding for these public land agencies by more than 1/3 of 2024 levels. After accounting for inflation, it would decrease per visitor spending by nearly 55% from 2011. Similarly, proposed employment for those agencies would be 30% lower than in 2024. In fact, the number of visitors per park or forest ranger is proposed to go up nearly 75% since 2011. Now, what does 1/3 of the budget reduction mean? That means nearly $4 billion cut to national parks, national forests, wildlife refuge, wilderness and recreation areas, and more. That is a 35% decrease from 2024. And when I say other areas, this is what I mean. Bureau of Land Management, down 35.27. National Park Service, down 36.87. U.S. Forest Service, down 35.03. Fish and Wildlife, down 33.87. 35.43% reduction in spending, or $7.24 billion in total. All these cuts are occurring while the visiting numbers for these parks are rising sharply, increasing the risk of fires that now T-Bones will not be able to spot and help coordinate ground attacks because they don't have enough money to pay him minimum wage to do the job that he wants to do. In his video, he even said he has asked the Forest Service if he could do the job for free because he, probably better than anybody, knows the importance of this job. So for those of you who are still here, thank you, and I hope you will share this video. It's not being talked about on the mainstream media because it's not sexy. It's fire spotting. It's forest management. That's not interesting, but it's so, so critically important. So I hope you will share this. I hope you'll help me get the word out. Thanks, guys.